Hi, my name is Theraval, also known as Tim in real life. On Twitter and elsewhere you can find me as Theraval, though typically. I am starting this channel just to kind of share with you some of the Kickstarters I've been getting recently. I've had, I believe, 6 or 7 or 8 arrive in the last couple weeks. I haven't had time to unpack them really, so I thought it would be fun to share these with you, kind of go over them as I open them up. This is the second time filming this one because I was a little bit confused as to which minis were which, so I decided to open them up and kind of get a better idea of them before I start talking about them. But today's Kickstarter that I'm sharing with you folks are the Effincool minis, Kobold Iconic races. So they're using a Kobold Press Midgard setting, and they are doing a few Kickstarters. This was the first one for the iconic races from that setting. This Kickstarter focused on the Ravenfolk and Bearfolk races, and they had 4 of each. Four of each of those in 4 different classes. You kind of got an arcane caster, cleric, fighter, and then the rogue type thing. Obviously, they can be used to kind of fill in the gaps with the rest of the D&D classes as needed. But let's open up some of these packages and show you what I've got. I only have my iPad that I'm using as a camera right now, and that does not have the ability that I've been able to find, at least yet, to attach a secondary external camera that focuses on my desk. So for right now, we're just going to go for it this way. Hopefully you'll all be able to see what I'm looking at, and hopefully sometime down the road too we'll be able to maybe do a little painting together, and I can figure out a way to get a camera on my face as well as my desk at the same time, which would be helpful. Anyway, let's look at the Kobold Press minis here from Effincool Mini. Again, like I was saying, this is supposed to be for the Ravenfolk and Bearfolk classes at first. These are all metal cast minis. Really nicely done too, from what I've been seeing. I love painting metal. For some reason, the paint just seems to melt into place when I work with them. So I'm really happy to see these are cast in traditional pewter, no lead or lead-free or very low lead miniatures. I'm going to have a lot of fun with these. First one I have here is the Ravenfolk Rogue. This one is a 2-piece kit. Some of them are 2 or 3. They need a little bit of assembly, mostly just a bit of glue, but every once in a while I have noticed that you may need some green stuff or putty to kind of fill in gaps, but that's not uncommon. You can see these are nicely done, high detail, lots of quality, and definitely worth their price for these. I also have the Ravenfolk Cleric, little torch lamp and a staff there, backpack on there. I really am enjoying that little guy. He's going to be a fun one to paint. We have the Ravenfolk Fighter. You can see here just a single piece miniature. There's a little bit of metal trim work to do on occasion, not uncommon with these metal cast minis. It'll only take a couple of seconds to clean up those supports and sprues in there. And then we also have the Ravenfolk Wizard, which could be used as a sorcerer or a warlock as well, obviously. A nice little piece there with a staff and a sphere in his hand. Could be a nice little OSL effect, glowing sphere weapon of some kind. And onto the Bearfolk mini, there's 4 of those as well. We have the Wizard Sorcerer Bearfolk, who has a ring of magic going around his head. I think it'll make a really neat spell effect. I enjoy painting those. Maybe a nice bright green or purple illuminating his face there. That'd be super fun. A very good sculpt as well. With the Bearfolk Rogue, it's hard for me to imagine a 7-foot tall, 400 or 500 pound creature being a sneaky, stealthy rogue, but you know, everyone has their gifts. have a bear folk fighter here, which would easily double as a barbarian if needed. Well, a somewhat armored barbarian, I suppose. Nice large warhammer here. It's a secondary piece to the bear. And then we have the bear folk cleric holding up his holy symbol and a beads of prayer perhaps in his other hand there. This looks like a really cool piece. I'm going to enjoy painting that one a lot too. A little bit of flash to trim there as well on that one. So those are the 4 races for each of the Raven folk and Rogue. I'm sorry, Raven folk and Bear folk races. This Kickstarter also allowed me in the backer kit phase to pick up a few of Effincool Mini's backline of miniatures. So I did that. I have a few out that I can show you. Some are in packages still. I haven't gone through each and every one of these. But there's very cool stuff. They got a Kobold Alchemist there. This Spawn looking dude with eyeballs on his hands. Kind of fun. I ended up getting this alchemical golem that like has packs on his back that attach to his body. I could fill those with different color fluids being pumped into him. I think that'd be pretty cool. They kind of mount right there on the back. This crazy eye beast oculoswarm thing, just a floating mass of eyeballs everywhere. I really like the abomination style monsters. They're just so unique and fun. I can see myself in a lot of entertainment with this one, adding some thousands of different crazy colored and patterned eyes in that swarm. An undead grim jester, another fun piece. I have no idea what I'm going to use most of these for. I just bought them sheerly for the purpose, the joy of painting them. Some of them are unique, some of them are just fun creatures that I like painting. Here we have what's called a weeping tree ant, or ent, Enton as you will. He looks more pissed off and angry than weeping, but another fun mini to paint. And yeah, so Effincool Minis clearly does a nice job. There's a lot of detail, solid metal pieces. There's a elemental of some kind. I'm guessing ice, could be ice elemental maybe, or stone elemental. Just so much detail and high quality work here. I'm very happy backing this Kickstarter. I look forward to their next one. Hopefully they'll have another one soon now that this one is fulfilled, where they start doing some of the other iconic races from Midgard. I know I'd really like to see the otter folk. I forget what they're called. I was looking at them earlier. The Burlings. That would make a sweet race of miniatures to paint too. Adorable little otter people running around. So anyway, thanks for stopping in, checking out my video today. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in below. Hopefully down the road, as this channel expands, I will figure out how to get some extra cameras and do some other views and painting with you, not just reviewing all the Kickstarters that I end up getting. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.